All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, and the big news out of New York today is not what the big news is. Instead, it's the big distraction out of New York, coincidentally on the day of. And again, the real news story today in New York is that they have just now changed the laws there so that you are required to have a COVID-19 vaccine if you want to go to a New York restaurant or gym. And of course, we know where things start in the Empire State, they spread across the rest of the nation. And we've been saying for a year and a half, this is exactly what they'll do. The government won't make the vaccine mandatory, but if you want to be a part of society, that's where you're going to need the vaccine. Go flying, go to a concert, go to a game, maybe go shopping to your restaurant. Here we are. And it's all very predictable. You know, the truth community's been expecting these types of things to happen for a long time because we see what's going on. What we call authority, government, religion, these things are corrupted, and ultimately all they want to do is control people more and more and more. And again, I want people to understand how these rituals are performed. Why is it that today, of all days, August 3rd, why is it that today New York has this new measure in the ongoing supposed pandemic, the required vaccine if you want to eat out or go to a gym? And why is it that their governor today, the big investigation comes to a head and they say he definitely sexually harassed women? And if you watch the speech today, he identified Charlotte Bennett multiple times. He said that was his most troubling, testimony against him. He's saying she must be confused or something. He denied everything, and he said in response, he's going to make sure that there's new sexual harassment guidelines for his government. It's like, well, wait a minute. Does that make any sense? If you didn't do anything and these are all false accusations, then why do there need to be new policies? But again, we're going to bring all this together and make sense of it because it's very clear when you know the code that these Jesuit scum, which Cuomo is a part of, same with his brother on CNN, a Jesuit-run news network, just like the New York Times, just like most mainstream media. But we're going to understand crystal clear what's really going on today. And again, it's all been explained many times before. It's in my book. I've done who knows how many videos I've done in the time of the pandemic explaining these same things and how you can see through all of this with laser focus. Again, you guys, Andrew Cuomo is the 56th governor of New York, and being a Jesuit-educated man who went to Fordham like Donald Trump, remember last year the pandemic began 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began at Fordham. Again, when you learn the meaning of this number 56 to these Jesuit scum, you just start to see what's really going on. And again, Cuomo, the 56th governor, the big topic, he's got the new policy for sexual harassment. That's his way to say, see, I didn't do anything, and I'm such a good guy, I even have new policies to make sure nothing like this could ever happen again. But sexual harassment in Gematria, this is the language the Jesuits speak in, equals 56. Just like their official name, Society of Jesus, is 56. Their stronghold in Washington, D.C., 56. You can add to that list Paris, France, where they were created on August 15, 1534. Paris, France, 56. The Jesuit scum, liar, fraud, Anthony Fauci, 56. The face of coronavirus, 56. Now COVID vaccine, 56. You wonder where that word COVID came from. You can understand very clearly when you see how it goes with vaccine and how it equates to 56. Toilet paper, 56. I probably don't have to explain it. And mind control, 56. And that's what this stuff is every day. You turn on CNN right now, it's nonstop about the Cuomo. They got a panel of all these women who are disgusted at his denial. It's like, what do any of these women actually know about the truth of this story? Well, there's an investigation. And again, I'm just saying this whole thing is a soap opera, you guys. I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying see through what the distraction is and how this is being done. Because on the day of this big sexual harassment distraction, you have this major to not be able to go to a restaurant in New York without a vaccine, that's a pretty big thing. I still haven't visited New York my whole life. If I went to New York now and I wanted to go to a restaurant and experience a great restaurant in New York, like a part of this city's history, I can't do that unless I have a vaccine. Well, I guess that's just never going to happen in my lifetime then because I'm not getting the vaccine for anything, And for all the people who'd go, oh my God, you wouldn't? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? It should be the real response. Why did you go out and get the vaccine? Because the media told you, something that lies to you every day and keeps you in fear to control you, and you don't see that? How can you not see that? Your government that does the same thing to you every day? The media and the government, one and the same, doing the same thing, partnership every day, keeping us all in fear for their agendas. Take away our rights and liberties, overtax us, the rest, keep us marching down their path. And again, who runs your government? Does your government run the government, or does Pfizer and big business run your government? Because your government and CNN are both lobbying for Pfizer. Pfizer's making a lot of money off this. And does Pfizer deserve to be making a lot of money off a emergency authorization vaccine when they're the most sued company in the history of the world for wrongful death and injury? Again, the only oh my gods are the people who can't see the obvious. I don't expect you to see 56 in the ritual, but still to just fall for a minute of COVID, to fall for a minute of 9/11, to still be invested in your government that has a rigged election every year that's crystal clear. It's just, it's such a joke, you guys. And again, people gaffe at the fact that they're using numerology and gematria. How could that be? How could that be? We're just demonstrating every day. Here's another crystal clear proof that it's all numerology and gematria. Remember, when the 55 Democrats earlier this year, we'll go over more of this that I'm skipping through, but remember on March 11th, the headline was 55 New York Democrats call for Cuomo to resign, right? That was March 11th, the anniversary of the pandemic being declared. But from that day, March 11th, to today, August 3rd, the bombshell. The media loves to use that term. Oh, what a bombshell today. It's like, bombshell, just more cooked up bullshit. It's more bullshit. It's a different B word. But from March 11th to today, August 3rd, is 145 days. And again, gematria, it's very simple. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, F is 6, G is 7, all the way up to Z, the 26 letter is 26. That's the most simple cipher. The next most simple cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules numerology. Same thing, just using numerology. That means once you get to letters that are double digits, like J is the 10th letter. So A is still 1, B is still 2, C is still 3, D is still 4, but when you get to J, the 10th letter, J is not 10 anymore. Now 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. J becomes 1. K, the 11th letter, becomes 1 plus 1 is 2. K is 2. L, the 12th letter, becomes 1 plus 2 is 3. L is 3. When you do that and add up numerology, it equals 55. So today's 145 days after the 55 New York Democrats came out and said resign. Now, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, just make Z1 back to A is 26, numerology equals 125. And from today to Cuomo's upcoming birthday is 125 days. And if you count the span of days, it's 126 days, but it's also a span of 4 months and 4 days. Numerology is 44 when you run the alphabetic order and reverse the rules of numerology. These are what we call the 4-base ciphers. These are what we look at every day as we decode and prove that the news is all scripted bullshit. Yesterday was the 214th day of the year. COVID vaccine. Here, you just saw how COVID vaccine equals 56. When you run it in reverse, COVID vaccine's 214 and 70. And yesterday, supposedly, we hit the 70% goal for 70% of adults vaccinated on the 214th day of the year. And, the vaccine couple yesterday got split up. Melinda Gates, 214. And again, these same patterns we've been talking about the whole time. Every day, your news is scripted bullshit, and it's all controlled by the Jesuits. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have been building Jesuit high schools. Melinda Gates comes from a Jesuit family. Her birthday's August 15th, the day the Jesuits were created in Paris, France in history. And the list just goes on. Jesuit scum all across the world that we are made to worship through their TV and government. Cuomo and Trump, both of them. New York con men, skeezy guys, super transparent unless you're under some kind of mind control. And again, both Jesuit scum that are puppets on strings. But total numerology ritual, total distraction from COVID, just like it was in March, right? After, a year straight of COVID, then we finally got a distraction with, the steamy details about Andrew Cuomo trying to hit on his 20-some-year-old interns, as if this is a unique story, right? And for the people who think their government officials are better than the other people in society, why would you ever think that? It doesn't make, you talk to American people, they don't make sense. They're like, oh, politicians, bunch of liars. But then you give them like a specific case about what a politicians are doing. They're like, oh, that sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. You're like, how the fuck do these people even make any sense, man? They don't. There's programmed idiots. Programmed idiots. And by the way, this other thing down here in the corner, the RNC official in Florida spreads COVID-19 conspiracies, calling vaccines the mark of the beast. CNN's had that up on their front page since yesterday. That went up last night. And remember what we were talking about yesterday with Bill Gates and vaccines and the mark of the beast and the number of the beast and the ritual in days? Isn't it funny that ended up being the story? And I forgot my stream to decode Lindsey Graham yesterday. Lindsey Graham got the virus yesterday. His full name is 87. Just, again, you guys, the news all synced up, coordinated with the key Jesuit pawns in big places from Bill Gates to Cuomo to Newsom to Trump to Biden. Biden, another Jesuit scum. Biden, I think Biden's the biggest Jesuit scum in terms of the evidence. I mean, wife and daughter die in a Jesuit ritual, synced up with the Pope and Superior General. As soon as he becomes senator-elect, Beau Biden, dead at 46 in a major Jesuit ritual, 201 days from Pope Francis's birthday. Mr. 201, the first Pope to live in Suite 201 when Inauguration Day is 20/1. You know, it's... And don't forget, the election was 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday this year, which is how we said it would be Biden all year. Catholic 46 in Gematria. JFK with his head blown off at age 46. In a very Jesuit ritual that we've called out for years, and now the Haiti president just died by the same number pattern. Jesuits. But yeah, I mean, where's people's argument? Where's people's argument? Hold on, let me look up in my book real quick. Let me look up in my book what page I start talking about Cuomo in 56. Hold on, I'll just read from the book. I just want to look up what page it is real quick. 1 second, bear with me. Let's see. Bottom of page 67, huh? Okay, it's like being in the school book. Hubbard, bottom paragraph 67, your turn to read out loud. Okay. Moving down the list of 56 connections, consider President Donald Trump attended the Jesuit school Fordham University in 64, 56 years before 2020, the year of the pandemic. This pairs well with the fact that coronavirus showed up in the United States January 15, 2020, a date with 56 numerology, and Donald Trump declared a national emergency due to the virus Friday, March 13, 2020, also a date with 56 numerology. Never mind that the World Health Organization told the world to prepare for a pandemic on February 25th, the 56th day of the year. Furthermore, consider New York's 56th governor, Andrew Cuomo, who also attended Fordham University and who became the daily spokesperson used by all news outlets to give us the latest on coronavirus, and who had a younger brother on CNN, Chris Cuomo, a name summing to 56, who reportedly caught the virus and spoke about it for weeks on live CNN broadcasts made solely for the purpose of scaring people into staying home. And it goes on from there. And as if that isn't enough evidence of the agenda already, Jesuit-educated Gavin Newsom equating to 56 and 155, the same as coronavirus, who went to Santa Clara University, ordered Californians to stay home on March 19, 2020, telling them at the time of the stay-home orders that in 8 weeks, the same as 56 days, 56% of the citizens would have coronavirus. So, and then it just goes on and on and on. And if, you know, I finished writing this book over a year ago. I mean, since then, literally I could probably write a 300-page book just on all the 56s we've documented. And that's not an exaggeration. I mean, I could probably write a 300-page book if I only talked about 56 and just all that we've caught and documented in the time of the pandemic. But now, you know, on the day it just comes together for New York. I mean, this is the most consequential day yet for New York in all of this. And there's been a lot of them, you know. But Americans just going along with the agenda. You have to close your shop, but you can still shop at this big box retailer over here that's Fascist Mart, you know. Please shop at your neighborhood Fascist Mart. We've been building their stores for years. You know, that's why you love our low prices, because they're tax subsidized. We've been putting your mom and pop stores out of business left and right. Big brother, big fascism. And now we're really coming home with it. Stay home from the renamed, you know, cold flu pneumonia. Give up all your rights as an American, give up your business, give up your way of life. And again, Fascist Mart's going to be here for you. We're going to be here for you, printing out money that you'll pay double on in the future. You know, it's it is something else that the sheep have marched along to, and they still aren't seeing it. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention again. He brought up Charlotte Bennett, right? He brought up Charlotte Bennett in his speech today. Charlotte Bennett said, totally inappropriate, was trying to seduce her. Have you slept with an older man before? And, what day's the testimony from in her own story? In her own story, Miss Bennett, 25, said the most unsettling episode occurred on June 5th. June 5th. Fateful day in history, RFK shot that day. By the way, June 5th, you guys, that's the 156th day of the year. Notice something. Robert Kennedy equals 156 with the alphabetic order, and then they say he died early the next day, June 6th, 6-6, Robert Kennedy, 66. Blamed on Sirhan. Sirhan, also 66. Again, just one of many coincidences in history, but it's that same day, June 5th. But notice that day can be written 5-6, right? June 5th can be written 5-6, like 56, to go with the whole sexual harassment by the numbers soap opera. So, again, if we didn't live in a society as such sheep, this would be the most viral content in the world. The world would have woke up. The agenda'd be over. And until it is, you guys, we just got to keep pushing forward until we figure out how to break through to these brain-dead losers that are leading us all to hell. And again, with regards to Cuomo having a 12/6 birthday, like 126, and being 63 right now, here's a big guy in Jesuit history. If you're not familiar with John Carroll established the first Jesuit university, Georgetown. He did it when he was age 54. John Carroll's 54, just like Jesuit order. That's the abbreviated name for Society of Jesus. But John Carroll's also got the 126. Remember last year the superior general of the Jesuits died, Adolfo Nicolas, whose name's 126 and 54. And you see how his name's 54 and 72? Also, he died on the day leaving 225 days left in the year, May 20th, 2020. But Jesuit order 54, 72, the Jesuits were created on the 72 date numerology in Paris, France, 56. Again, all these numbers are used so ritualistically by the cabal. The Jesuit cabal. They simulated at Jesuit Georgetown on June 12th, 2020, 12/6 like 126. Biden winning the election over Trump, and Trump saying he was cheated, which leads to deadly conflict in the streets of America, which was the simulation on January 6th. But, President Biden, his name is 144 and 72, like Jesuit order. And again, it was simulated 144 days before the election at Jesuit Georgetown on 12/6 like 126. That this would happen. Think about Kobe traveling from Catholic Mass, dead on 126, January 26th, the anniversary of Bear Bryant, who died 37 years earlier. Bryant equals 2637. Again, you learn your gematria, you see what's really going on and who's running the show and, who's doing everything from these people to ending their lives to, bringing up a soap opera for them to have to deal with. Again, I don't know what's really going on in the Cuomo story. He's likely aware of the whole script. He's been lying to everybody about COVID the whole time. There's zero reason to trust this goon. But, there is a chance that maybe he's not in on, and he's just having to defend himself by the numbers. Maybe he really didn't, maybe he really didn't do any of this, and a part of him. But just when I listen to his whole tone today and the voice, it's just like Trump. Trump does the same thing, talks in that slow, sappy voice like he wants your sympathy. It's just, no man talks like that, no matter what the thing is. If you're wrong, then come out and speak like a man and apologize. Don't go into the, I'm being wrongly accused and everybody knows that I'm a good person. This is hard for my family. Just shut the fuck up, man. God, what a bitch you are, Andrew Cuomo. You and your brother. Brother used to run on the treadmill in 3 sweatshirts and then get on CNN. Man, I'm so sick today with COVID. Let's broadcast about it for an hour. By the way, what's his goon brother's name equal when you run it in reverse? 56. So... And I have good people that follow me in France, but I got to say this about the Jesuits being from France. I worked at a French-American school for a while, and there were a few decent French people that worked there, but almost all the people that worked there that were from France were fucking stereotypes. Just like, nose up at you fucking scumbags. Couldn't even say hello back. I was just like, what the fuck's wrong with these people, man? God. No wonder this country has so much bad reputation. I'd always just like, World War II and the rumors about the French being a bunch of pussies. Again, until I worked at the French-American school, I thought, well, that's just what people say. But then after working there, I was like, maybe there's a lot of truth to this. And then I think about how the Jesuits are from there and how they're about the scummiest thing there ever was. Maybe Paris is just a place that needs to go. I like French, though. I like the way it sounds. I think they have the nicest sounding language. I got to give them that. But yeah, I just wonder, what other scums come out of France besides the Jesuits? A lot of the founders studied there. A lot of scum comes out of this nation. Scottish Rite came to power there. Masonry and Jesuits, D.C., 56 City. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I should mention. Yesterday we went in on a big way on 18 in the Jesuits. From today to the upcoming birthday, the span, 18 weeks. Again, the Jesuits, their logo's the sun. Sun equals 18, like IHS is 18. IHS stands for Isus Hominum Salvator, which equals 85, like Myanmar. Yesterday, the big ritual Sunday, the big ritual in Burma, 18 weeks after the overthrow. The prime minister the military leader declared himself the prime minister. Jesuit world order. Same code all over. But, yeah. And then with regards to the whole sexual abuse and 145 days later, again, Gematria just reveals what's going on, you guys. It couldn't be any more clear. You write out Catholic. I mean, look at it. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Catholic's 145. And again, in the Catholic Old Testament, which is the Jewish section, the Jesuits who are behind all this are Jewish and Catholic. The Jewish section of the Catholic Bible has 145 more chapters in it than the Protestant Old Testament. And the Catholic Old Testament has 46 books, as opposed to the Protestant Old Testament that has 39 books. Catholic, 145, 46. Again, this election, the second Catholic president ever, Joe Biden, number 46. An election exactly 46 weeks after Pope Francis' birthday, the Catholic Pope. His son, Beau Biden, dead at 46, perfectly synced with the Pope. A big 201 ritual, the biggest number of the Jesuits. And Israel, clearly a Jesuit Catholic creation. They had to bring about the land of the false Jews to fulfill prophecy, because that's in the concluding book of the Bible, that the false Jews will be running the show in the end times, who are the synagogue of Satan. That's what Israel is, the nation of the false Jews, where there's no real historical proof that that's ever the land the real Jews were in. And by the way, the real Jews in the Bible, the oldest Jew in the Bible is Methuselah, who has black skin, clear as day, and we don't really identify black people as Jewish. So, who are these people that we call Jewish now? Don't forget, Brooklyn, New York banned my book by the numbers. Brooklyn, New York, 74, Jewish 74, Gematria 74, that's Etsy. And they banned it on the 74th day of the year, for calling out all this stuff. But, JFK was the first Catholic president, number 35, killed at age 46. It's just so obvious. It's so obvious, you guys. It's so obvious. But the Catholic Church, nobody debates about them being the champions of the world when it comes to sexual abuse. So here you got the Catholic Jesuit scum Cuomo with a big sexual, assault distraction story. And we'll see where it goes from here. Does it end up coming out that he's a rapist? I just wonder if this story could get even much further, that more people come out, he raped me. I just wonder if it could be going there because it's 8-3 that they're doing this. Rapist is 83, and the reason I'm aware of that is because we've talked about it so many times with NFL players being accused of being rapists in 83 rituals. Football and rapists both equal 83. Today's, speaking of Jesuit scum, today's Tom Brady's birthday. New York is kryptonite, but Matt Damon, who's Tom Brady's birthday, he's getting shamed today in TMZ for saying the F word. Not fuck, but the one that goes against gay people that everyone used in the 90s when Back then, it wasn't, Pride Month because you got pounded in your ass. And as far as I'm concerned, that was a lot better time. So, notice the 6th month, is Pride Month. The number that represents the flaws of man. Man made on the 6th day. Genesis 6:6. God regrets making mankind. So why not make the 6th month the month where you're proud if you get pounded in your ass? One of you guys is out there right now. I don't. I'm a top. Okay. You pound guys in the ass, so that's where your pride is. Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, it's the Jesuits, They do like buttholes. They do. So, yeah. It just... And you know what? For the woman out there who follows me, who argued for a long time before all this, that you could tell inside that Cuomo was really a good guy and you thought I was being too hard on him, for being used to get out the word about COVID. There's somebody in this community that followed for a while. All of a sudden, I was just like, okay, it's time for you to go. If all of a sudden you're getting off board with the work because you like Andrew Cuomo and you think I'm giving him too hard of a rap for what he's doing with COVID, I wonder what her opinion is now. She'd probably like to get groped. I think she had a little crush on old Andrew. And again, I don't really know what this guy's up to, but I know he's a scumbag and a liar and a fraud, and sexual harassment's the least of my concerns, honestly, in light of the agenda that he helped sell America for us to, give up sovereignty over our own bodies and everything else. Oh, yeah, by the way, on the back of the Microsoft, the king of Microsoft divorce news, look at what else comes right behind it. Microsoft to require vaccine for workers at its U.S. offices. Go figure, right? Go figure. And let me see if that news broke today or if it broke the day of the door. By the way, did you see that Seattle won their baseball game 8-2 yesterday on 8-2? Seattle 82. It's just like, come on, man. The same shit they do every day, but... Uh-oh. Police officer dies in shooting outside the Pentagon building. His name was probably 77. He's probably born on September 11th, like the Pentagon. If you didn't know that, Pentagon construction began on September 11th in history, 1941, right before Pearl Harbor. 9/11, the new Pearl Harbor. Where did the Microsoft story go? They hide it? Oh, it's right here. I see. If they did this today, I already get the joke. Why today? I already get it. I just want to see if they did it today or yesterday. The tech firm said Tuesday, so today. So again, remember, Bill Gates got in his arranged marriage with Melinda Gates. Just like I said, their whole marriage was clearly synced up with the coronavirus pandemic, which looks like they got an arranged marriage with all this being planned out. And now everything that's happened with the divorce backs up my point all the way. But again, they got married when Bill Gates was 38, 65 days after his 38th birthday. Again, pandemic 65 and 38. You had the 38 Zionist conference in the year of the pandemic. Go figure. But again, today's 3/8, right? 3/8. Pandemic, Microsoft, Bill Gates. And remember, the Event 201 coronavirus pandemic simulation, where 65 million die in the simulation from COVID worldwide, that was on Melinda Gates' 65th day of her age, and then their divorce comes while Bill Gates is 65 years old. And of course, Bill Gates is 65 right now. He'll turn 66 on October 28th. Yesterday, you see how Number of the Beast is 66 and 87? Bill Gates is 87. Bill Gates, yesterday, was 87 days before his 66th birthday. And again, him and Melinda met in 87, and he got the vaccine on the 87th day of his age, January 22nd, earlier this year. But his full name, William Henry Gates. It's 201 like the Jesuit order, 84 like the Jesuit order, 258. His dad died last year on the 258th day of the year. Let me write out Number of the Beast again. Number of the Beast, 258. He set up his vaccine alliance on his 258th day of his age. In Sumerian Gematria, Sumerian Gematria is just where you multiply the alphabetic order times 6. So vaccination with the alphabetic order is 111, but times 6, that's 666. So Bill Gates, with his whole vaccine stuff, he's always paying tribute to Number of the Beast. His ritual yesterday with Melinda on the day that the COVID hits the milestone, synced up in this Number of the Beast ritual, which is just an ongoing pattern with his life, as I point out in the book. And again, I mean, even divorce. Like, if you're really married, you should not be getting divorced, because if you get divorced, essentially it means that unless it depends on what your vows were, but almost everybody's vows are until death do us part. And that is supposed to be like the purpose of marriage. So if you're separating from that person before death, then you're violating your oath that you made to yourself and to your significant other. And I mean, ultimately, like, lies, I mean, it's not everything's black and white, but like, lies are not part of the good part of the world. So if you have to make the world good and evil, a lie, and there's different shades of lies and different degrees of evil, but ultimately, somewhere along the lines, divorce is related to lie. And don't forget that divorce equals 113, the number of dishonesty from the Talmud. But somewhere divorce fits in more with the evil. So his divorce on the day of the COVID vaccine milestone, being synced up with his birthday and the Number of the Beast, I mean, you see that all of this stuff, what they're pushing and influencing in the media, is not good behavior, more like evil behavior. And again, him and Bezos. Bezos takes over the world in the time of coronavirus at age 56. They end the year with their Netflix streaming service film, Yearly Departed, where they said 2020 was so bad, it felt like it was 56 months long. It's just... But, one more thing I got to say before I go. Again, Cuomo's birthday, 126 date, and today a span of 126 days to that day. Remember where that comes from. It's the Jesuits, whose logo has the Templar cross in it. The Jesuits are the current military order of the Catholic Church. The Templars are the old military order of the Catholic Church. The Templar motto was, "Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory," which equals 701. Catholic is 71 in the most simple cipher. It's 701 in the most simple cipher, just like 71. Catholic, 71. Remember, the election confirmed all the votes on 7-1 this year for Biden. They called the election for him 353 days after his birthday, the 71st prime, the same day in history that he became senator-elect. But 701 is the 126th prime number. That's the relationship with 126. And remember, the first leader of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, who died in 56, 84 days from his birthday, Jesuit 84, the Catholic Church 84, the Jesuit Order 84. He also died on the day leaving 153 days left in the year, Jesuit Order 153. But from the day that he died to the day that he was replaced by the second Superior General of the Jesuits, Superior General equals 84, just like Jesuit, and he died 84 days from his birthday. But he was replaced by Diego Lainez, who was Jewish. Jewish mysticism equals 201, like the Jesuit Order. Like William Henry Gates, who comes from a Jewish family, something that's not usually mentioned about him in the public, but I mean, his facial features are not hard to see. But again, 701 days, the 126 prime. Jesuits, Templars, Catholic Church, ritual. Whose calendar are we on? The Catholic Church's calendar. Whose language are we speaking? The Catholic Church's language. Again, English is credited to a Catholic monk, Burforth. But again, that's why you see the 126 coded into so many notable Jesuit events from John Carroll to Adolfo Nicholas and to Cuomo, and beyond. So we'll leave it there, you guys. And again, Tom Brady's 44th birthday. Just did a big 44 ritual with Boston and Tampa in baseball. Can they do it again tonight with Tampa and Seattle? I'm going to keep an eye on that.